What's going on, guys? Bruce Mattson here, your host show of Metric Scout Fantasy Football, and today we're going over our tiers and rankings for the running backs for Week 3 PPR Fantasy Football. We're doing our top 30, plus a little more sprinkled in there to help you set your lineups for this weekend. If that's something you're into, if this is something that helps you out or even just keeps you entertained, tap that subscribe button right now. Really will help you out throughout the season because we're doing this every week. But let's get this started. Like every time, I'm going to just start dragging these guys into their tiers and then start talking about them. So our first four guys are Jonathan Taylor, Christian McCaffrey, Austin Eckler, and Saquon Barkley. This is pretty standard here. It's pretty standard. Barkley could be moved down if you really want to, but I like his workload in the passing game. I think the Giants can be up on Dallas. Well, we thought about that about Cincinnati last week, and that didn't go out too well. But eventually, the rubber's going to have to hit the road with that team. Christian McCaffrey is Christian McCaffrey. Just the workload in general you're chasing. You're not sitting or dropping Jonathan Taylor versus the Chiefs. Austin Eckler's getting good workload in the passing game and has another good matchup to go off of. It's hard to mess around with this tier. The next tier guy here is Deandre Swift, Joe Mixon, Leonard Fournette, and Dalvin Cook. These top tiers are getting a lot lighter. They used to be a lot heavier, especially this second tier. The first week, the second tier was huge. It's getting lighter. Deandre Swift's pushing to be in this top tier. Whether you like it or not, he is. I could put him here and be fine. He's looking to be more healthy. We've heard reports about that, about the ankle. So he may be even better this week. Good matchup against Minnesota. High volume game. Good output in the passing game for this. He should be up here. Really should be up here. Joe Mixon at the Jets. Low volume game, but he should get higher volume touches compared to a lot of other running backs. Leonard Fournette's in a funny spot because he should be getting volume in a weird matchup. However, the passing game is going to be very ambiguous, so they may just try to take out the run game and make him pass it on him. I don't know what's going to happen there. Dalvin Cook hasn't been hitting lately, but the workload's been there. He could push to be in this top tier. He's good enough to make it in this top tier with his workload, but it just hasn't been happening. But he's very comfortable here. You're starting everybody here I have listed. There's no one you're not starting. Deandre Swift, though, is in a smash spot. With that being said, since I said it, he might not smash this week, but he's been smashing 2 weeks in a row. So we're just going to have to give him the justice he deserves. Moving on here to the next tier, Tier B. Derrick Henry, Nick Chubb, Javonte Williams, Aaron Jones, Clyde Edwards-Hilaire, Antonio Gibson, Naji Harris. This middle tier is the big tier. The big tier is starting to drop a little bit more because this running back landscape hasn't been good to us. Derrick Henry hasn't been good to us, so I'm going to move him back a little bit because there's some promise with these other running backs. I like how Javonte Williams is being used in the passing game. I don't see that letting up. Aaron Jones is nice, but I wish he had the full workload. I get it, he's sharing it. Decent matchup, I guess. Not the greatest matchup on the road against Tampa Bay, but the volume's there. Things will get sneaky with him. Clyde Edwards-Hilaire is a guy that's been moving up the rankings each week because of the volume in the passing game. Mahomes' money printer to go Burr. Antonio Gibson's a threat to score anywhere on the field. Decent matchup against Philly. They might be using him on the checkdowns. He's so explosive that it just takes 2 or 3 plays, and he can get you an RB1 week or a high-end RB2 week. That's why he's kind of up there. Nick Chubb's the volume. The volume game's where we're at. Against Pittsburgh, just a low over-under at 38.5, though. So I'm not in love with that. They may not be in many opportunities to score, and he's sharing the backfield. Let's move him back a little bit. Naji Harris, I feel like I'm low on, but I also need him to step up and put up more fantasy points. We got 2 weeks in, and I get it. We're not jumping off cliffs. He's ranked in the B slot, which is fine. You're starting him because he's Naji Harris. He's getting touches and all that. But you also have to be concerned or just not feeling as good as what you was in the season or as the same as last season. Next tier, Tier C. David Montgomery, James Robinson, Kareem Hunt, Josh Jacobs, Darrell Henderson, Tony Pollard, Miles Sanders, Cordell Patterson, and Damian Pierce is another huge tier. This is because running backs have not been good to us. They have not been good to us at all this season. And really, these guys are getting workload. They're showing some promise. James Robinson here against the Chargers. Interesting matchup. He's been getting workload. He's been efficient. Montgomery's been getting touches. Jacobs been getting touches. We need him to put it together. Pollard's been explosive, but I don't really trust it, so I'm going to move him here in the back, but I don't want to discount that explosiveness either. Miles Sanders is in a smash matchup. I could see him being the guy that flips the slate on its head. If I wanted to gamble, I could put him up here, and if I wanted to really gamble, I could put him up here. I think he has a good week this week. I think he has the potential for that. Miles Sanders could have a big one and really be one of the top running backs for week 3. I really like his matchup this week against Washington, 47 over under. Good spread for them. Philly's expected to be up in this game. That means they could be using him more, and that could equate to more points, which is what I like. Damian Pierce getting touches, good yards after contact numbers, but I really need him to get more usage in the passing game and more usage overall in general for him to step it up in these tiers. The pathway's there. We just got to see it. Darrell Henderson's sharing the backfield. Not really too keen on him, but he is getting those touches. I also think Cordell Patterson's always a sneaky play. He's always a sneaky guy to throw in there. He's always scoring when you don't think it's going to happen. 42 over under against Seattle, though. We're on the road, so we're just going to have to put him in the lineups and close your eyes. He may be on your bench, depending on how your roster's set up, how your lineups are set up for your league. Just take a look at him. Maybe a flex play for you because he was a later round pick in drafts this year, so you might have that equity where you're good at running back. You don't really need him, and you're going to flex your receiver instead. This bottom tier is kind of funky. So we got Ezekiel Elliott, A.J. Dillon, Breece Hall, Travis Etienne, Michael Carter, and Jeff Wilson. First off, I hate all the Niners running backs. He's just there because of potential volume, potential game script flipped. Michael Carter and Breece Hall. I have Breece Hall ahead of Michael Carter because I am just shooting for the upside of Breece Hall. I think that's going to be tapped in sooner than later. He's explosive, catching the ball out of the backfield, and any moment he could bust off one of those big runs. Matchup-wise, against Cincy, not the greatest, but could be worse. 45 over under, and I really could just see him just hitting one or two big plays, catching another wheel in the end zone or whatever. I like Michael Carter too. I think these two are going to feed off each other, but eventually Breece Hall is going to be the main guy. We're waiting for Travis Etienne to do something. He has the potential to be much, much, much higher, but he needs to live up to it. James Robinson's been eating off his plate. A.J. Dillon, I loved him going into the season, but him sharing the backfield, an ugly matchup on the road against Tampa Bay. It's hard to vote on him. Ezekiel Elliott, it's not looking good. Touches are there. He has a 25% opportunity share, so it's fine. He's getting some targets out of the backfield, just 4 in 2 games, though, so averaging 2 a game, so not really. And the explosiveness is zapped. It's gone. But the volume, the touches, the goal line work, not the greatest matchup, an ugly one against the Giants. I can't really put him in the lines, but really where we're drafting him at in the offseason, this is kind of where we were expecting him to be at on a lot of weeks, especially with Dak gone, offensive line being blown up. Tony Pollard's starting to get his. It's hard to be all in on Zeke. But I also got some guys running in here that need to be ranked that are coming off of injury. First off, Alvin Kumara, he's practicing. I'm going to throw him here in tier A. 1, he's coming off of injury. 2, we just need to see him be more productive. I think this is a good spot. You can also put him in the top of tier B because we don't know what we're going to get. So it could be the downside of Kamara. It could be the upside of Kamara. We don't know what we're going to get. He could produce to where he can be in tier S for the studs, but we don't know for sure. So that's kind of conservative. James Conner. And I'm just going to throw him here in tier B, maybe tier C. Don't know 100% what he's going to look like coming back from injury. Don't know, but we're just going to throw him in here just in case. And the man of the hour, the last guy I want to throw in here, just what the hell. I think he's going to play this week, full participant in practice. This might be his debut. He might be back, but we're going to be conservative because we don't know what the distribution is going to be. They've been pretty conservative with him, and that's J.K. Dobbins. He's explosive. He's going to be somewhere in tier C, but just put him where you want to. I think he has the potential to score higher, but we don't know how they're going to use him. He also can be down here in D. If you want to be conservative, if you just want to wait to see what happens, that might be the smart thing to do. I'm also a gambler, and you guys know that. So I'm going to gamble with him and C over some of these dudes, playing around with him. But really, when you think about it, it may not be the smartest idea, but you do what's best for you. Play around with your lineups, mess around with your distribution of players. Always just mix up your portfolio a little bit. But that's it for the tiers and rankings for this week. The top 30 plus a little more. Let me know what you think in the comments, who you're starting, who you're dropping, who you're sitting at the running back position. Also, smash that like button on the way out. Really helps the video in the algorithm. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button because I'm dropping content like this every week. And it's really going to help you going forward, setting your lineups and making those waiver wire claims and those trades. I want to thank you for watching. I'll catch you on the next vid.